So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to down. This is the My AUM page after you've logged in, and you click here on the AUM Library web page, and that's going to bring up this. And you might have to log in, and it's got instructions for you to log in. So this is pretty simple to use for the type of work that we're going to be doing. Now, if you have a specific database in mind that you would like to see, take a look at these guys right here. One thing in particular, one that I particularly use is JSTOR. It does really good work in terms of condensing things, but we don't want to limit ourselves necessarily to JSTOR. We're going to go here to the main search page. Now, before you click here to typing in what you need to do, I want you to click here where it says scholarly and peer reviewed. Now, why is that important? Scholarly or peer-reviewed article means that it goes through a fairly rigorous process of review, typically with 3 reviewers, before it can get to publication. It adds an extra level of credibility because it goes through experts in the field. Okay, thank you guys. Not right now though. So let's see, like you can see where I've already searched for these things. I want to take a look at something related to Sir Gawain, right? And you can be more specific as you do it. So what I like to do is just sort of start broadly and see what's available. And you click down this bar here. You see this is clicked. Now, I'm not going to restrict when you pull from, but in terms of understanding, I generally recommend let's look at things that are going on in the last 20 to 15 years. So we're going to put this at 2005 that shows you these articles that have come out in the last 15 years. And I'm going to click that it says scholarly, and then I'm going to go down here and click academic journals. So that generally is going to pull away specific items that are of that scholarly review. And there's one additional thing that I want you to pay attention to. So in this initial one, notice one thing here. That's a book review. So you're not reading the article itself or the book itself, you're reading an argument or a review of the argument. And so that's not helpful. And you can generally tell by this note right here, 4 pages. So that is not a bad thing, but it's not going to be useful for this assignment because you're reading what we would call a tertiary or a third source, a source about a source, which is about the primary source. You want to look at specific items that you're dealing with here. So as I'm sliding through here, what I'm looking for is some kind of link right here that takes me to an article that I can view. So I'm going to click this full text line, and that will limit out this information where it's just citations and give me those things that I need to be able to actually look at a text. And let's say that I am particularly interested in ecology or things having to do with the environment. And so I see this article, Arthurian Biopolitics, Sovereignty and Ecology in Sir Gawain and the Carl of Carlisle. So, okay, that's going to clearly be within the topic that I want to think about. And if it talks about multiple texts, like Sir Gawain, you'll see like the Pearl poet, Sir Orfeo coming from that same time. That's okay if you want to just focus on that part that's about Sir Gawain. So I'm going to click PDF full text, and here I have the article that I can read. And what's really nice about this is that I can go ahead and know the lens that this article is looking through because I can see it here. Words like biopolitics and ecology. That is going to have to do with the environment. So as I look through here and I notice, okay, so this is important to see, is that this is not actually about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. It is about another story called Sir Gawain and the Carl of Carlisle. Now, normally I would go back and actually re-record this video because I don't know how helpful that is, but it is good for you to see that even I make mistakes on this, and that one of the things you can do here, which this then turns into a nice object lesson for us, is a way to correct some of the errors, to be more specific by going, and I'll show you what I did here. I went to advanced search. And so instead of just Gawain, maybe I'm going to put Gawain and the Green Knight. Now, there are ways to be more specific in the search terms that you're using, and that's a good idea depending on what you're looking for. I still like to go broad and then find specific terms that are of interest to me. So I'm going to again click scholarly peer reviewed, and I'm going to click full text. And then I'm also going to click through back to 2005. And so I can see the last 15 and see what we have here. So we have God and the Gawain Poet, Theology and Genre. And that's where you see Pearl, Cleanless Patience, and Sir Gawain. You can focus on those elements that are just about Sir Gawain. You have Julia of Norwich, who was another medieval writer, and Sir Gawain and Green Knight. So both of these texts, when you see tokens of sin, badges of honor, you can tell that these, not this one in particular, though we're not looking at it as a book review, but this one is about some measure of theology and understanding. Speech representation as narrative technique in Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. That might be of interest to you because it's about how the words themselves come together in a story. So we're going to click on PDF full text. And you notice how when I looked at just Sir Gawain, it produced a result that wasn't helpful. In this case, by typing in the Green Knight, I'm able to get to a specific article that is useful. So one of the best ways to learn in this circumstance is to go and play. And once you have this, you have it here, you can access, you can print it, you can download it, you have the option available to you. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions as you're working through this, just let me know. I am happy to take a look at it and work with you on finding a source. I would suggest also finding a source that seems particularly interesting to you. Don't go for the first source if that's not something that is of interest to you. If you're bored by the topic, which is perfectly part of this whole process, I'm bored by lots of topics then about these same texts. That's okay. Don't just find something that it is of interest to you as you work through this. So let me know if you need any help along the way. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. The librarians will also be happy to answer any questions that you have.